Hello, my beautiful souls. How is everybody doing today? I'm in such a good mood. I feel so good. My brain feels so good. I just feel great. It's probably because I had 9 hours of sleep last night. Oh my goodness, that never happens to me ever. Okay, anyway, guys, the last one was super long, so let's just jump right into it. This is the intuitive card reading for the collective for March 18th through 24th. You guys know the drill. Please like this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Please share this video with anybody that really needs to hear the messages that come through. What else, guys? Oh, comments, questions, feedback, concerns, all down below. I read them all. Would love some more interaction here as this channel is growing. And I love hearing from you guys. The bad, the good, the ugly. Just be kind is really all I ask, okay? Okay. That's it, guys. Let's jump into it. Same 4 decks. I think it's a different order. I think I switched the first 2. The Archetypes deck I'm using for the second slot here. Yeah, okay, let's jump right into it, guys. Let's see what we need. Okay, happy. Yay! Okay, so happy, I think came in last time too. And I forget where it came out on the spread here. Possibly down here in the important. Anyway, it's not important. That was last week, but we have it again, which is the which is key. So we need to find happiness. We need to find joy. We need to find little moments of that, even in the little things. Okay, so there's actually not too much more I can kind of say about this, but we really kind of need to just capture even the small things. Now, I'm excited about it because anytime I get the happy, that's always about, like, you know, again, the small things, finding joy, finding that bliss. But the fact that it's underneath means that we really need to make it a priority. Okay, so definitely try to find it, seek it out, that kind of thing. Like, you kind of have to make it happen. Let's actually see what action needed says, but it could kind of go either way. It's almost like Spirit is sometimes saying, like, and we'll see as we go through the rest of the spread, like, you might need small moments of joy because it's a more joyful week, or because it's really kind of chaotic and you need to have those moments for your sanity. So let's see what comes through. We have Destroyer in the light, releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for new life. Okay, so far so good. Destroyer, it's kind of violent right here with that volcano, but it's in the light. So to me, it's a little bit more positively, and it's basically saying you're kind of letting go, and this is action needed. So we're kind of letting go of what, not even just letting go, destroying. Like, we're not even like we are dismantling. We are destroying what is destructive for us. So we are, leaving behind what no longer serves us, preparing for our new life. I always talk about that new life, right? Moving forward, getting there. Okay, so this is basically saying that we really need to really destroy them. And the feeling that I'm getting here is it's not so much about yes, it is about letting go of it, but it's actually about the actual action, the fact that it's under action, of destroying the thing. Okay, so to the fact that it's so, what's the word? It's not, I think I want to say this. It's not conceivable anymore. It's not retrievable anymore. It's not something that can be resurrected, is a good way to kind of put it. So you really have to destroy this thing. So, God, this is a crazy example, maybe a silly example, but so you don't, like, basically it's almost saying, like, okay, let me give this example. You bake a cake, okay, and you live alone, and you bake this cake, and the cake came out so good that you don't trust yourself to not eat the entire cake. So much so that you have to destroy the cake so you don't overeat, okay? So you put the cake in the garbage, and then you put, like, dishwashing detergent all over it or something like that. So you can literally not eat the cake. Like, you have to destroy the cake, okay? That's the image that's, like, popping up in my mind. That's, like, the example that I'm giving of this energy that's coming through. But it's basically saying, like, you must not allow another path, whether that's you don't have the willpower, whether that's, that's just an example of not having willpower, for example, but it's not only you're just letting go of the cake, you're literally destroying it. So I hope that a little analogy, metaphor thing makes sense. It's kind of silly, but that's the action, that's the energy that's coming through, that's the action needed here, is that we really just have to not just let go of things, not just like let them, it's not even, yeah, it has a little bit of that same energy of like surrendering, letting go, but it's really like, no, you have to nip this thing in the bud, whatever it actually is, okay? All right, hopefully that made sense for you guys. Okay, issue, we have vows. Okay, so this is about keeping to our word, what we say, making commitments, making promises. So it's under issue. Okay, so we're going to have issues this week. I think we've gotten this card before, potentially under issue or challenge. And it felt like, sorry guys, there's an ambulance going by. You guys know I live in New York City, so sorry about that. Okay, it's gone. So basically this is saying what we commit to, also like commitment, so commitment issues, right? I definitely do feel like it is on us, and so it definitely does feel like us having issues sticking to a commitment that we made, and honestly, like it feels like a big deal. I tell you guys whether the energy rushes in or it feels very minor or major. It definitely feels like it's rushing in and it's major, okay? And so to me, this feels like you may have made a commitment that you cannot commit to. So just that you ultimately can't commit to. And that is really becoming a problem this week, okay? So this might be something like you overcommitting to different, various things in your life where maybe it's work commitments, maybe it's social commitments, family commitments, like whatever it actually is that you just like overcommitted to too many things, and it's starting to pile up and become an issue this week, something along those lines. So those are just small examples, but could really be anything. So there is definitely a making promises here that you really are figuring out that it's just becoming too much, and you can't follow through with what you promised. Okay, so that is like a bit, and like I said, it's definitely coming through like pretty big. It's going to kind of come to a head. So let's actually see what's in challenge. We have peacekeeper, let go of the need to be right. Okay, so this is really about that kind of like battling our egos. So it might have something to do with the vows and making commitments. Like maybe we just, our ego kind of got in the way and says, I can do this, I can do that, and even though I do believe in accepting things without knowing how to do it and then learning how to do it and then being able to do it, but I hope that makes sense. But sometimes our ego gets in the way of biting off more than we can chew, like that kind of energy is kind of coming through here. So that might be part of that. So we said we can do something, and it's kind of like lying on your resume. Like, what did you lie on your resume about, like this week or whatever, but this is really about because of this, you're struggling to really find that peace, and you're trying to find more calmer shores, like that kind of thing. So I will say this that's coming through is some of you guys out there, I know I read for the collective, so it's not going to be everyone, but some of you guys are maybe caught in a lie or an embellishment of some kind, okay, because the ego is involved here. So it happens to the best of us, but it definitely does feel like that's part of some of these issues and challenges that we're having this week. So very interested to see how that manifests for you guys. And again, put it down below, any comments, questions, and comments. Okay, you guys know I love this one when it comes up, change. Oh my God, I love this so much because it's in the change slot here. Regeneration. Regeneration is always about rebuilding what was lost. I always think of nerves because I actually have nerve damage. So nerves grow back. Neuroplasticity is an actual thing. So nerves grow back. They grow back really slow. Yeah, right. I wish very fast. But they do grow back, okay? So that's always what I think of as nerve regeneration when I see this. But it could also be you lost your house in fire and you're rebuilding your fire, okay? It's a slow process that gets you there, but you can build, and then when you're building your house, maybe you decide to rebuild it differently where, I don't know anything about building houses, but maybe you give yourself the porch you always wanted. So it could always symbolize growing back the same, or you have the potential and opportunity to grow it back better. So that is nothing but positive in the change section. Like, I'm actually super excited, because if there's something that you've been wanting to change, or something that has been a tower moment, something that has brought you to your knees, something that you've been working on for like a really long time, something that has completely brought you down, breakups, illness, whatever it actually is in your lives, it feels like there's going to be significant change this week with building it back, the same or better. Okay, so this is such a good card. I'm so excited for us. Okay, focus. We have the Fool, but we have it in the shadow, using humor to wound rather than liberate, denial of your emotional truth. Okay, so this is about, what's coming up here? Sarcasm. Such a weird thing to just kind of, you guys know I read intuitively, obviously, but that's what's kind of coming up with this, is that sometimes we use, how do I describe this? Sometimes we use our humor to kind of mask things. Okay, so this is about masking things. So this is focusing on where we're actually doing that, where we're actually being sarcastic. Like, something tells me that, and everyone says it's kind of a personality trait. And yes, people are more sarcastic than others, but anybody can fall into it, right? And so you might be using it a little bit too much this week. And so Spirit is saying, where you look at where and focus on, where you're actually using humor when you should be feeling your feelings, or being more emotional, or being more serious about things, or facing things a little bit more head on instead of playing around, et cetera, et cetera. Because it did come up in the shadow. It would be the opposite if it came up the other way. So just, keep that in mind and focus on that, because it's definitely doing you a disservice. I'll put it that way. Okay, what do we need to reflect on? Guys, oh my God, can I say this word? Dynamicism? Dynamicism. Is that right? Dynamism. Guys, I'm sorry about the ambulance again. I hope you guys can hear me. Okay, so this is just being about being dynamic, okay? So reflecting on what makes you, what makes you dynamic, what makes you a powerhouse, what makes you amazing, what makes you different, what makes you unique, what makes you just, I don't know how many ways to say this, just like the amazing human being you are. And so reflecting on that is going to be really good this week. This tells me that this is focused here because we might be a little bit down on ourselves, or feeling like we're out of place or don't fit in. Okay, so I've been getting a lot of messages in the past, in the weeklies, in the monthlies, even in the dailies, about, oh my God, I lost my train of thought because this ambulance is so distracting. Okay, now it's gone. About connecting with more like-minded people. So we're being pushed to that as a collective. We're being pushed to more alignment in that area for sure, especially since the friends section down here hasn't been great. It's been kind of on and off, but overall not so great. But we've been having that push because we really need to be around people that are more like-minded and can see our worth and see how amazing we are and that kind of thing. So I have a feeling that has something to do with that. So definitely focus there for sure, and reflect on that. Responsibilities, Magic Guardian, unlock the magic within. Okay, I almost called this a power card because it kind of gives that energy, like an energy of being empowered around who you are. And then we get the power card, the Magic Guardian, unlock the magic within. So this is basically saying, like, you have a responsibility to see how magical you are, okay? To see how dynamic you are, okay? So this is really about gassing ourselves up, about really seeing what makes us so special. And that's it's under responsibility. So it's like, it's your responsibility to reflect on that and really own that, okay? So I love that. You guys know how I feel about that. Okay, money and finances. Okay, we got this one, I think, last week too. Money and finances, this is about the sweetness of it. And it's very similar to that card up there with happy, happy, the bliss, the joy. This is about kind of joy after difficulty, that the sweetness is at the end of the rainbow. It's after the cloudiness of our lives, the storm that we had to go through, like that kind of thing. So the fact that it's under money, finances, and career, that's amazing, because we've been getting a lot of under money, finances, and career, like trusting that everything is going to work out, that everything is going to be balanced, etc., etc. Now I feel like we're going above that, right? Where it's saying like, now things are going to get better. Now the money is going to start to increase. Now this, now that. And to be honest with you, if I could remember correctly, with the yearly, this tracks, because we're only a few months into the year, but as the year goes on, the money increases, the potential for money increases, the potential for career progression increases, okay? So, because we are in a 8 universal year, so it's about power, it's about empowerment, it's about money. I'm telling you guys, this stuff is starting to improve if you really feel like you've been just breaking even, or if you feel like you haven't been able to get ahead, that kind of thing. So I'm telling you, things are definitely, especially because it's with the milk and honey, and it's basically saying like, yeah, Spirit understands that you've been through shit, okay? Sorry, excuse my language. You've been through crap, okay? Now it's going to start to improve. Now you're going to actually see tangible, physical evidence of money coming through, okay? And so voila, I'm loving this. Between that and the change of the regeneration, and that could be it too. Maybe the really horrible thing that happened to you was you lost a lot of money. You lost a lot of your investment, because we did have a lot of those hints of like repeating patterns of past mistakes. I think that was last week, that kind of thing. So seeing this card after all of those messages is chef's kiss, okay? There's not too much more I could say about that. Amazing, amazing, amazing. All right, what kind of surprises do we have this week? Okay, we have, these are the archetype cards. We have prostitute, accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. Okay, so this basically says that you know your worth and you're selling yourself accordingly. Okay, and that's really what that means. Okay, take it as you will because of what the archetype says, but that's the energy that's kind of coming through. So that's a surprise, is that we know our worth. Guys, look at these cards, okay? I love 4 cards in a row that are like boom, 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 boom. Amazing, 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 after amazing. So basically, and it's alluding to abundance, okay? I'm getting excited, really, really excited. Again, I would say the only thing that we need to look at as we're looking at this row, cut out the, joking around, the putting yourself down, the sarcasm, et cetera, and really focus, on the emotional part of things. As long as you do that, it definitely does. And reflecting on how amazing you are, this is a good week, guys. This is a really positive week, especially when it comes to abundance, especially when it comes to accepting what we're worth. Some of you guys out there might be declining jobs that maybe are not, maybe it's something that you do want to do and it does feel in alignment, but they're not offering you enough or something like that. And you choose to say no, obviously you get to, make any choice you want, you have free will, but maybe you decide like, some of you guys out there, it's not going to work for me. Okay. I know what my worth is and not being paid enough, et cetera, et cetera. So, honestly, it's not too much of a surprise after these last the cards that I pulled, but I just love to see it, and it's just amazing. So we're knowing our worth, and we're knowing we're not negotiating our spirit, our soul. We're not gonna take a soul-sucking job, just because, like, things like that. So you're gonna see these some moments that really reflect that, like, your worth, who you are. Because you've been reflecting on it and you've been really connecting to that higher self of ours, right? And knowing, what is for you and what's not for you, and you're not gonna, what you're gonna take and what you're not gonna take. Could be relationships too. Let's keep going to see what our relationship corner over here is for the week. Friends, generosity. Okay, finally, we've got a good one for friends. I hate that these cards are bent. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, so we have generosity. So I see it both ways. Okay, so I see an equal give and take, which is great. So you're being generous to your friends, they're being generous to you. giving and receiving is good. I don't think there's too much to say. I'm just happy that there's a positive thing coming through on the friend side. And so it just feels like people are extra generous towards you, and you're extra generous to them. I don't think I have to say much more here. Let's see what the romantic connection comes up with. Great teacher, learn from spiritual experiences. Okay, so this is wonderful because this is also a positive one. Anytime we learn, we've won. Okay, I think you guys have heard this before. Super cliche, so you probably have, but they're cliches for a reason because they're true. So we are learning from spiritual experiences, and that means that we're learning lessons in our relationships. Like we're connecting the dots. We're understanding the meaning and the reasoning behind what is going on in our romantic connections. This is actually a really good week for people that are single and dating, because this feels like we're learning a lot about ourselves. So whether it's positive, negative, however you view that, quote unquote, good or bad, maybe you keep meeting the same people over and over again that are not aligning with you, and you keep going on dates with these people, and you're finally, connecting the dots as to why. And it just feels like they've taught you something. I'll be honest, it feels a little bit more positive. Like the lessons are positive. Like it's just you're having positive interactions with people. Because sometimes when I get like the cyclical type, patterns repeating themselves, etc., it's more so, on the negative side. This feels positive. So it's just basically learning lessons. So what I can say here is look at your people that you're dating, those in a relationship, looking at your partners, your significant others, as what can they teach me? That's like I know it's coming in under reflect, but that's not something bad to reflect on. It's not a bad idea to reflect on that. That, what is this person teaching me? What is this, how do I, because all relationships are mirrors, right? I know it's under romantic connection, so it's definitely highlighted in our romantic connections, but what is this person teaching me? What did I learn from this particular person, etc., etc.? There's lots to learn is what Spirit is trying to say. Okay, important. Breathe. Okay, it's important to breathe. So we haven't gotten this card actually in a while about, have we? No, I don't think so. I think we had the Hermit maybe a couple of cards back, which is kind of a similar type energy, a couple of readings back. But this is always about, don't forget to breathe. Okay, so this is under important, so it's obviously an important message. Don't forget to breathe. I'm not feeling chaotic, busy, unbalanced energy. I'm actually feeling the opposite, but this is basically just saying, just it's important that you do. And I don't think it's because of those reasons that we're busy, unbalanced, etc., etc. I for whatever reason, Spirit is saying, no, it is important to take a breathe, don't try to rush through anything, etc., etc. Because I will say, I know we've had a couple of things kind of come up where things are challenging, obviously, up there where, and I did use the word major, and I said, that maybe you overcommitted, and that could be, tipping the scales of a balance of some kind, but it almost feels like more of like a promise or an embellishment of some kind that you made, that maybe you're kind of getting caught in a lie too, like things like that. So, but despite that energy up there, it definitely does feel like it's a really, I know we have 2 cards to go, and that overall outcome has been kind of shocking me lately, so I'm excited to see what comes up, but overall, it feels like a really positive week going in the right direction, in an aligned direction for us, where we're really stepping into our own power. And things are starting to finally, it's almost like saying like things are finally starting to rebuild and look up. But anyway, I digress. The important thing to do is breathe, okay? Breathe is basically our life force, guys. If we're not breathing, we're not living. Think about it. It's actually quite literal, so. Okay, so upside down, we have slave, giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. Okay, so this one is something also to pay attention to. I think I mentioned a couple of readings back, talking about red flags, red flags, pink flags, green flags, a lot of green flags, but if I had to say, this would probably be a red flag, because it's saying, it's giving your willpower to an external authority out of your fear of making your own choices. Love that it's under health and wellness, because obviously I have gone through my own journey in the last almost 3 years, guys, Basically this is saying not being your own advocate. Like, you have to speak up for yourself. You have to make your own choices. You have to, I just mentioned free will not too long ago. You have to exercise your free will, okay? You have it for a reason. You are not a slave. You are, you have choices, and you need to make those choices. And obviously we want it to be the aligned choice. We want it to be an empowered choice. We want it to be an intuitive choice. But basically this is saying when it comes to our health, when it comes to our wellness, it's time to make decisions that you need to make. So maybe you've been following somebody else's advice, or being a little bit more codependent on a healer of some kind. Now it's basically saying you need to break through this and start making your own choices and making your own decisions when it comes to your health and wellness, which can be mental health, emotional, spiritual, physical. Okay, so anything that really you would encompass under your wellness. Okay. I would actually say it's more like pink flag, to be honest. Okay, so overall outcome, what do we have going on here? Consistency. Okay, I think we did get this last week. No. We got this in one of the dailies. So guys, I do daily readings here on YouTube with YouTube Shorts, and then if you follow me on Instagram and TikTok, I do them there as well. And hopefully as I get better, you can actually see my face. So almost there. But consistency is great, because the overall outcome here is basically saying, like, you have to show up for yourself. You have to continuously be consistent. You have to continuously do the things that you like. You have I love that it's next to what this is saying about about choice and decisions. Like, you do have free will, and you do have a choice, and the choice to be consistent, it lies with you. Now, I'm not shaming anybody, okay? Because it's a little bit, and I don't want to say triggering, but like, for example, I could not be for the life of me consistent for the last almost 3 years I'm trying to do my best with getting these videos out. I think I did a pretty good job, but I'm fighting against something that's not in my control, okay? I was fighting with something not in my control. This coming through now is telling you, like, whatever you felt like was not in your control is now in your control. Okay, that's what it feels like. It's saying there's no, like, basically it's saying, like, the excuses are falling away. They're dropping off for you to show up for yourself, to show up for your family, to show up for whatever, is going on in your life. It'll be different for everybody, but it's time to really implement the consistency to get to where you want to go, whether that's, to a healed place, to a goal that you have in mind, whatever you consider your new life, your North Star, whatever it actually is. To get there, you need to be consistent and consistently show up for yourself, okay? And so that's what it's saying, is that you have to make a choice about it, and the obstacles that you were facing are really being removed. So I love that it's showing in this reading, because this reading is really fabulous. I know I said there was a couple of red pink flags in here, but overall, so I was right, well, I wasn't right, but I said it can go either two ways, and I wasn't sure. The Spirit is asking us that we need to find the little and joyful moments, and it could be because we're having a pretty joyful week, or it's a pretty tough week. It's luckily, well, there's no such thing as luck really, but it's the former. And so it looks like a really great week. Like I said, there's a few things to look out for, a few things that are surprises, but that's a good surprise a positive surprise in my opinion. But overall, really great week. I'm very excited about it. The regeneration excites me. The consistency excites me. This whole row pretty much excites me. And just a couple of snafus up in here and the issues and challenges. But that's part of life, right? Can't always be, we have to have challenges, right? We have to, it's not always rainbows, unicorns, and butterflies, although I would wish it to be, but it's not. Okay, anyway, guys, I'm not going to make this any longer than it should be. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I hope this was helpful to you. Again, comments down below. Love you guys so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, my beautiful souls. See you soon. Bye.